All right, Sinister Plotters, welcome back. You know we like to go deep, and today we're diving back into Aaron Hill's Metalstar. Still got those decoder rings from last time.
Oh, I never take it off.
Last time, if you remember, John and Sarah got that rude awakening out of their cloning pods. Talk about bad timing, huh? Makes you wonder about this whole clone program thing.
Yeah, no kidding. And just when you think it can't get weirder, chapter three's like, hold my beer.
Hill really throws us right into the thick of things, doesn't he?
Totally. And that sense of disorientation he creates is amazing. Like, we're right there with John, hungry, alone, trying to survive in this totally messed up world.
It's like waking up from a nightmare only to find yourself in a worse one. You can practically feel the dust and grit when he's scavenging, trying to find anything to eat.
Right. But those survival skills of his, surprisingly smart. Who would have thought a kiddie pool would be so useful after the apocalypse? It's those small details that Hill adds that make it all so real.
Yeah, you really feel like you're there.
Totally. And it's not just like made up stuff either. The Luminarium mentions how Hill used actual survival guides, even stuff about getting water from a water heater. It grounds the story, even with all the crazy sci-fi stuff happening.
Yeah, it makes John's struggle feel so real. He's not some superhero, you know. And speaking of learning, that dream sequence, right? Huge reveal about John's past.
Right. And it's not just some random dream. It's full of meaning, wolves, visions of his mother, those Native American traditions. It's like Hill's giving us this peek into who John really is deep down.
Absolutely. And then we learned his nickname was Wachichu, meaning white man. Imagine that, right? Being Native
Right.
American, but having a nickname that basically points out you're mixed race. It's heavy stuff. It makes you think about identity, belonging, especially in a world where everything's gone haywire.
For sure. And that feeling of being stuck between two worlds, it makes you wonder how much of John joining the Marines was about finding a place to belong, somewhere he could prove himself.
Yeah. Maybe even overcompensate a little. The Luminarium mentions he was a gunnery sergeant, right? Responsible for weapons, logistics, leading a ton of men. This guy was at the top of his game. No wonder he's so good at surviving in all this chaos.
Like his training just kicked in the second he was ripped out of that cloning pod.
This is who you want on your team when the world ends. Speaking of teams, though, remember Poe and his group from last chapter?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're back, and they think John's a spy.
Uh-oh.
Talk about bad timing. This is where Hill really starts building the tension. Like, different groups are forming from what's left of humanity,
Yeah.
and they're not all getting along. Remember that bit about people worshiping animal gods?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Feels like we're seeing a whole new conflict brewing, not just about survival anymore, but about what people believe in.
It's like Shakespeare, but with alien spores instead of kings and queens.
Right.